make a little more money out
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, yeah.
But, like, if you could get them to avoid student loans, then, man, they have one hell of an advantage.
Yeah.
Because, like, imagine, like, I always tell guys, it's maybe me and you aren't geniuses and we go nowhere. But if I sit here and help you out for 15 minutes and we get you that 10% and your kid becomes a doctor and does my heart surgery,
Yeah.
who's more thankful, me or you?
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be thankful as hell I spent 15 minutes with you. And so, like, I believe those ripples are huge. And so I think the college waiver is one of those big things that we could actually change the way California is, you know, when it comes to our kids.
Yeah.
And when it comes to veterans, most veterans have 1 or 2 or 3 kids. You know, one of my dudes has 7. And, like, yeah, and he's all about it, man. And he's a great dude. Like, but he's like he's 35, you know?
Bishop Herman that I was talking about, 12 kids.
Yeah. Oh, man, dude, like, I could barely deal with my dog.
Yeah.
You know? I do think you should have kids. Like, I don't have any yet.
12 kids, man.
But, yeah, man, like, I don't know what you're trying to build. Like,
yeah, right?
you know, like what's going on here, man?
What sport needs 12 people on the field?
Yeah, like, or you're just like, oh, that one didn't work out. We need a new one.
I worked with a guy who had I think he had 7 girls before he had his first boy.
My friend Brian. Yeah. We're a month apart. He was born in September. I was born in October. And this dude has like 5-6 kids, and his very last one was a boy.
Oh no.
Yeah. Nothing
was
but
he
girls.
trying? Is that what happened?
I think he digs it. Yeah, like some people really love it, you know, because like my other friend that has 7, he is all about the family.
Yeah.
Like, and it's incredible. You know,
I'm worried about feeding my family right now.
yeah,
Can you
dude.
imagine?
Like, when I walk my dog, I'm a stress ball. Like, I can't imagine having 7 kids running around because, dude.
I said the other day, I go, that's 2 minivans.
Yeah. Yeah. Going to Denny's. Yeah, going to Denny's is going to cost.
Get on the bus.
Like, you know, like, you can't go to McDonald's and not drop 100.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
whew.
Yeah. Oh, no, we're not going to the movies, guys. No.
Yeah. Like, man, that's got, yeah. But you see, guys can do it, you know? And so I do think
if there's a will, there's a way.
There's that personality that you need, you know?
Yeah.
And, yeah, like, because I do want kids, but I'm always worried, you know, like with the anthrax shots and stuff, like when something, like, messes them up. You know, because that was a big thing that we were all worried about. Yeah. And especially when I was in, that's when everybody was, like, afraid of, like, the shot, like, your shots and stuff, giving, like, autism and things.
Yeah.
And so, like, that was certainly in the back of your head at the time. But, yeah, you're always worried as a vet, like, what did all those shots and all this junk mean, and is it going to fall on my kid, you know?
It's scary.
Yeah.
In my MLS, I fixed radars in the service.
Oh, so, yeah. See, I was running in front of them the whole damn time. Yeah.
And the whole mindset is that the majority of individuals in our MLS have girls, so they're saying that the radiation kills the Y chromosome, and so like we had a boy, and I was like, thank you, Lord. But there's a joke like if you have a boy, then you weren't working. So that's the joke, right? But you know, it's kind of going back to what you were saying, the benefit of the doubt, right?
Right.
I mean, obviously, I can't claim not having boys, but a buddy of mine had a tumor the size of a softball,
right,
in his head that he had to take out just 3 years ago,
right.
And I was like, yeah, he's not service connected. I've been trying to get him to get in, and I was like, you got to get in there and get this situated. Oh man, you know the VSO's been, you know, sending me away, this, that, and the other. It's
that
like,
always blows my mind.
Yeah,
you know, because how, like, you're not asking me to lift your refrigerator. Yeah, you know. Like, I have family that, like, does construction and everything. You're like, that's hard. Yeah. You know, doing roofing right now, that's a hard job. Yeah. Like, me doing paperwork and hanging out with somebody who's an honorable vet, like, what the hell? Like, that's cool. Yeah. Like, I've never understood that. And that does kill me when you see a service officer like, oh, you hurt your knee, cool. Here's the claim, bye-bye. Yeah. Then, you know, you're not giving them potential, you're not giving them anything. And it's like, it's so strange when you hear that. I don't understand that. I really don't. So,
what's another benefit that we might not know about?
A good one, I guess, for us. What we're talking about was the caregiver benefit for the 9/11 vets.
That's right.
I think it's hard for us to believe that the VA would pay us, to get the caregiver benefit over a World War II or Korean vet.
Yeah.
So like it's hard for us to imagine that, but when it comes to the basic needs of a veteran, even at our age, it's a true thing. Because like with your wife, with my wife, like they have to deal with a lot of BS when it comes with us.
Yeah.
We're not easy people to get along with 24/7. And we're kind of stubborn and picky about certain things.
Yes. My wife would vouch for that.
Yeah.
Very much so.
And so at least I think when it comes to that, one, there's money involved, but two, I think the bigger thing that I really enjoy is like, it's acknowledging that spouse of what they're doing, so there's some kind of acknowledgement there where like a lot of the times I think, the VA does a lot for veterans, but not necessarily for the family. So like, how do I convince you to stay with me if I'm going through all my BS, but no one's caring about yours?
Yeah.
So at least when it comes to the caregiver program, I think it does recognize what the spouses are going through. And I think that helps keep the family together a little bit stronger.
Yeah. And even to kind of expand on that, right? Because the DAV national commander is a quadriplegic, right? He was in the Coast Guard, and he didn't lose his limbs in war. He had a bacteria that infected his body that they had to cut his stuff off.
Yeah.
And, he's, I think he'd be like 60, close to 60 years old. Close, maybe 50. I don't know. Don't slap my hands if you're listening.
You're going to get an email for that.
But his wife, his wife has to take care of him. And they're leading that fight right now up in Washington for his caregivers.
Yeah.
To be the caregivers pre 9/11 to be taken care of.
And I've thought that would always go through even from the beginning, because you're like, that's strange, and it's really one of those weird benefits where you're like, of all the things, this is the one that feels odd.
Yeah.
Just because of how young we still believe we are.
Yeah.
And when you look at a World War II vet, because like the thing that bothers me is like, you can't sit here and say, oh, greatest generation ever, and then just ignore them.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to clap for somebody. It's easy to say, oh, good job. But what are you doing past that?
Mm-hmm.
And what I see, like even assisted living, a cheap assisted living facility is about $5,000 a month, And so like, let's say like something happens and you have a stroke and you're still paying off the house. Now you're in assisted living. Your wife is still here.
And she's got to pay for.
Yeah. And I don't care who you are. You don't have that kind of money. Just be blowing.
Yeah.
And to me, the World War II guys, like the sad thing is like, they're not going to be around much longer.
Yeah.
So respect these people.
Yeah.
It's not hard. Because if you could blow $1 billion on one jet that's just parked because it's too scary, like, help this dude out.
Yeah.
Show him some honor.
Yeah.
Because he showed his honor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
didn't ask for anything.
Man, I'd tell you, like, if I was a World War II vet, I think I'd be so incredibly crazy. Like, because the little war that I was in, the little spot I was in, like, it affected me. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But those guys were like, 2 years deployed, fighting every single day. Their jackets weren't as good as ours,
Mm-hmm.
So like they were colder. They were like, man, they had to go through so much.
Yeah.
And you're talking young dudes. Like I talked to one guy who lied about his age and he was 14, and you're just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And so like, you don't see men like that.
Yeah.
And so respect them.
Yeah.
Like they are incredible people. They really are.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean when it comes to this job. And like, I'm so blessed to be able to just sit down and BS with them and just hang out, and I really feel like we're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Like I could do claims, whatever. But like to know about this guy's background, to be a part of his family, to be given the opportunity for them to open up about things they've never told their own wives.
Yeah.
Like it's a blessing. It's an incredible thing to see.
Yeah.
And so I don't take it lightly. I really believe like these people are just the most incredible things you ever seen in life, and like for the vast majority of Americans, you just kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sweep them right on.
Yeah, because it's easy to go watch a movie and say, "Oh wow, cool," and then you just go on with your life.
Yeah.
Like, nah, like they're incredible people if you just sit down and talk to them. Yeah. Yeah.
So okay. Where are we at? Let's break apart some myths.
Yeah.
We already talked about CALVet, right? Can all children go to school via CALVet?
Oh yeah.
So,
step kids, adopted kids, kids that are let's say you get conservatorship, something like that. Yeah. So, like, say you have a really, really smart niece, you know, but no one could afford UCLA. If you become, like, the conservatorship or you become, like, her guardian, you know, legally, she could fall under you.
Okay.
Yeah. And a World War II vet taught me that. Yeah.
And what's the age limit?
When it comes
like 20 something, right?
When it comes to the CALVet loan for the home or for the college waiver, I don't think there's really an age limit. It's really just about your income.
Okay.
So you don't want to be 90 years old and making 12 grand, you know?
Yeah. But
I think when it comes to plan A, I think it's 26, 27.
And that's in the CALVet handbook online.
Yeah.
If you need to look for it. So.
Yeah, there's 4 different plans, but most people fall under plan A and plan B.
Yeah.
And 90% of people are going to fall under plan B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can your spouse go to college if they were with you in the service? If they were not with you in the service?
If we get you at the 100%, yeah. Yeah. And I know it sounds wild when you hear 100%, but it's really not as wild as you think.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be these wild conditions or anything. It'd be something what we consider basic for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basic being
PTSD, like, cause like a lot of people think we're crazy or wild or whatever, but like when you're talking to another vet, we just kind of smile and laugh, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, whatever, you're all right, you know? So like, I guess the rest of the world thinks we're a little off, but like I think the majority of us are just like, oh, you're all right, you know? And so like when it comes to PTSD, I think we're used to that type of thing, you know, depression, anxiety, and so you could hit a high percentage off of that. Just being your natural self, because that's who we are. Mm-hmm. Headaches could be a high percentage. The TBI could be a high percentage. The funny one that I think is the sweaty hands. It's called the hyperhidrosis, and the sweaty hands could be 30%. So before this guy even says my knees, my back, my shoulders, you could hit these high levels that are what we kind of assume are basic, you know. And they don't have to, like, allergies is a big one for us. Like, yeah, so they don't have to be diabetes or heart attacks or anything like that. It could just be that basic stuff.
Do the VA ratings ever get down? Okay, the myth. VA ratings never get downgraded.
That is absolutely a myth. They're messing with one of my World War II vets right now. That's incredibly offending me. So.
Okay. Before you even get into that.
Yeah.
Did he have to go get reevaluated for something or?
No, he just got a letter,
He got a letter?
Yeah.
After how long?
About 4 years, 3 years. You know, usually when they want to reevaluate you is within that 3 to 5 year window. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think when it comes to our generation, we're young, so they say, oh, your PTSD is going to get better. And especially if you hit a high rating, I think they think, like, you're going to take the money and run. So 5 years goes down the line and now you don't have medical records. And so they say, hey, let's check you out again. You have nothing to back you. Mm-hmm. And so then they can write whatever they want. Mm-hmm. And I promise when they're reevaluating you, it's not to try to give you a higher percentage.
Of course.
You know, they're trying like hell to figure out how to drop you. And the scary part is when you see something like that, they usually drop you pretty low. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, they can absolutely do it. Like, you're solid after 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, 10, you're pretty safe. 20, you're absolutely safe unless there's some kind of lie in there where, you know, you were never deployed or something. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, you'll see them. They can screw with you, and they screw with you in some wild ways. The one that you see more than anything when it comes to dropping claims is cancer issues. The moment you have surgery or they say it's in remission, the VA believes you're 100% cured. Mm-hmm. You know, so that 100%, that 70% drops to 10. And you want to talk about affecting someone's life, that's a massive hit, you know, and especially when you're talking about cancer and you're at this point in this society, you should assume that somebody in everybody's family had it, mm-hmm. whether it was you or someone else. So like you should be able to understand the severity of that, and to say that, oh, remission means cured is like, I don't think so.
Yeah. I've seen remission happen, and then it came back like hard.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years later.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, and you're talking, was that person stressing the whole time?
Yeah.
Worried about is it coming back? You know, like, how did it affect all the other body parts, you know, when you went through chemo or you went through surgery? Mm-hmm. Like, there's residuals that are big,
Yeah.
But the VA says, "Oh, you're fine. You don't have a prostate anymore."